Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Now let's get into the video. James Franco recently sat down for an interview after he was cancelled in the public eye, and in it he discussed several topics. In this video, we are taking a look at James Franco speaking out on his fallout with Seth Rogen. Number 5. Understanding Seth's behavior.
I absolutely love Seth Rogen. Because I guess I'm talking about because a lot of people come up to me.
If you didn't already know, James Franco has been under a lot of fire recently for his actions in the past towards some females. Whenever such accusations come to light, the first step that is taken by anyone is that they distance themselves from the person who did those actions. In this case, Seth Rogen publicly said that he wouldn't be making any movies with James Franco anymore. Now, James has addressed those statements, and one of the most surprising things he said during his interview was that he understood why Seth had to do that. In James' mind, it made sense for Seth to come out and state his opinion on the matter before things got out of hand. This response from James Franco sure came as a surprise for a lot of the general audience. Number 4. Working relationship.
We aren't working together right now, and we don't have any plans to work together. Of course, it was hurtful, in context, but...
Among the many comedy movies that have been made in the past, some of the best ones had one thing in common: Seth and James working together. These two have been working on various movies with one another for several years, and it has proved to be a very successful relationship. During the recent interview that James gave, he addressed the nature of their relationship and said that they had become very close work friends with one another. Among the many things he stated about his relationship with Seth, one thing in particular stood out. He said that in the time that the two of them had been working with one another, they had never had a fight with one another. That is a very hard thing to believe, since close friends are known to have arguments from time to time. But if it is true, it just goes to show just how close Seth and James really were. Number 3. Reason for doing the interview.
And so that's why, it's one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you today, is I don't want...
Among the many topics he addressed in the interview, he also went ahead and explained why he had chosen to do the interview in the first place. It is common in the Hollywood industry that whenever someone faces such accusations, they usually disappear from the public eye for a long time. This helps in repairing their relationship with the general public, since people are quick to move on to another story. James also followed this strategy and said that he had chosen to do the interview because he no longer wanted anyone else to give answers to the questions that were asked of him. James Franco even particularly noted that he didn't want Seth nor his own brother, who is a big name in the industry, to have to come out and publicly give their opinions on a matter that didn't concern them. This could be construed as James being very understanding of the people around him, but it does beg the question of why he waited so long to do this in the first place. Number 2. The allegations.
That of behavior, of patterning, of just being blind to yourself.
If you haven't been following the news, you might be wondering what the allegations against Franco were in the first place. Well, the basic gist of the matter is that he was accused by former co-stars and a few students of inappropriate behavior towards them. Such allegations are taken very seriously in the Hollywood industry, and as such, James fell from favor among the general public. Number 1. Learning his lesson.
I did sleep with students. I didn't sleep with anybody in that particular class.
During the interview, James had to say about the allegations of him sleeping with his students. Shockingly, he did admit to doing that, but he also said that he had been taking the time to learn from his mistakes and making sure to never repeat it again. Another accusation against him was that he had chatted with a young girl through their DMs. He said that since he was new to all that technology, he didn't know who was on the other side of those messages. He even talked about making a bad judgment during the entire incident, and he ended with saying that he had learned his lesson. These were some of the details of James Franco talking about Seth Rogen. It seems like James had taken a lot of time to ponder on his mistakes. Let's see what the future holds for him. That brings us to the end of the video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you stay up to date with our latest videos. See you next time!